Now more with Lac La Biche St. Paul MLA Ray Danyluk.
You mentioned the Competitiveness Council, and that's something that's new that just started last week. What can we expect from that going forward throughout the province of Alberta?
Well, I think it's very important to know and to look at that Alberta has been, if I can say to you, been the leaders, and we cannot let our guard down. We need to ensure that we continue to be competitive. We need to look at the industry that we do have in this province, what is necessary to maintain our competitiveness, our edge, our lead, and that's what the Competitive Act is really about. Is looking at and the council to look at not only regulation, but to look at what we're doing as a province to ensure that this is a good place for people to come to. This is a good place for people to come to work and to raise their families.
Much has been made over the last couple of weeks about the New West partnership and bringing the three provinces together. Is it still smart, though, for Alberta to make sure that we're okay and that they're okay first, as well as working with our neighbors?
Well, I mean, one of the major challenges is we cannot be in isolation. We can't be in a silo. We can't be in an island. I think together having some common regulation, common direction is very much for the benefit not only of all three provinces, but especially for Alberta. It looks at transportation. It looks at all the different ways that we do have those opportunities to work together. It is to me, I say it is a real challenge when it's harder to have trade that goes between our borders and easier to go north and south. There's something wrong with that system.
There's something wrong when you can't get something to your neighbor in a neighbor within your own country too, because that's been a huge problem too.
And that's
selling meat. St. Paul isn't as close to the border as we are here in Lloydminster, and we deal with that issue a lot, but it still must be frustrating for some of your producers up there too when they run into some of those issues.
Well, it's frustrating for industry when industry works across the border. It's frustrating for agriculture, for individuals that may have something as small as an individual who may have pasture on both sides of the border and the regulation that takes place. Something also is when a group of individuals, a group of seniors that have to travel from one province to the other. Some of the regulations that's asked for, I think that it is critical that we get together as provinces and work out those issues, work out the trade issues, work out the transportation issues.
It's been only a short time that it's been in place, and I know Premier Stelmach has been very forward thinking about it. What are some of the things maybe that we might see get put in place? Can we expect more progress to be made on this in the coming months?
Well, let me say to you that this is very new, but if I can just say on the onset, the ability for to take out the barriers.
The regulations almost.
The regulations, the barriers.
Well, we've seen you out on tour a little bit over the summer, hitting a few constituencies outside of your own, traveling around with some other ministers and MLAs. But I understand you're getting a special guest up to St. Paul in the coming weeks too, right?
Yeah, if I can say, the tour was great. The tour really gave us as ministers an opportunity not only to see our own constituencies, of course, if I can say, show them off, right? Because it's not only about issues and challenges; it's about attributes.
It's about learning the other half of it too, right?
And we'll make better decisions if we understand, what Alberta's about as a whole. The Premier is coming to our constituency. And along with a number of ministers and MLAs, and we're going to start off in Lac La Biche, and we're going to spend the part of the morning opening up the new lodge there, going on, stopping at a gas well facility. It's an opportunity for our communities to
show off, basically.
To show off, what we're doing, because we are very proud. We are very proud of our accomplishments. We are very proud of who we are, and I would say more so than anything else, very proud of our contribution to this great province.
Well, my guest has been Danyluk, the Minister of Infrastructure, and the MLA for St. Paul Lac La Biche. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
After the break, we take a look at some of the stories making headlines when we return on Around the Region.